Hello everybody, welcome back to another video on the Dark Rooms podcast. I am Psychic with Inky, Ozone, and Underscore. How's it going, everybody?
It's going well. It's going really
good.
Well. And we are here for episode 15 of the podcast, which, as per the tradition of the show, every 5 episodes, we record the episode live in the staged chat of Ozone's server. So we've got a bunch of people in chat today, collectively called Jordan. And
oh my gosh,
so,
hi Jordan.
Forgot about that joke.
Shout out to Jordan in the chat, all of you, and let's get into today's topic.
Actually, Inky, before we do that, so if you guys didn't know, the person who makes the art for our show, Stitchy, has already made next week's art. And as a little surprise for those who join the live show, you guys get to see, and for these three, they get to see it early. Okay, so
let's go, Stitchy.
Let's go. First of all, shout out to Stitchy. Major shout out.
Awesome, yeah.
Okay, and I'm gonna send it in 3. No, wait, that's the wrong one. I almost said the wrong one.
That's the wrong image. Imagine.
Is it this one? Yes, Stitchy is awesome. We can all agree on that. Okay,
great.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Ooh, what are we showing?
Oh my god!
Wait, I haven't even seen this yet.
No one has.
None of us have. This looks.
That's so
gosh.
sick.
That's awesome. I'm on fire for some reason.
Because you're always ranting.
Inky's on fire, and
so
he's got Fazgoo.
That's amazing. Underscores looks great.
What's the psychic doing?
All of them.
I'm
look
just.
great.
I don't have any lore yet, so I'm just strung up.
He's just wrapped up like a puppet.
Mm-hmm.
Puppet duo.
Puppet duo.
Puppet duo.
No.
And then,
That's so cool.
I know, right? Stitchy did
So
an
it's got
amazing
the
job.
lemons.
Yeah, well done, Stitch.
Yes, psychic duo.
That is looking absolutely fantastic.
Once again, major props to Stitchy, who always does a great job on the artwork. Doesn't get enough credit for it, in my opinion.
It is very beautiful.
All right, so what are we talking about today, guys?
I don't know.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Of course you don't know. You've been asleep the entire time.
No. I literally didn't know we were recording a thing today until like 15 minutes ago.
Oh my god.
Ozone. We agree that Underscore is just horribly unprepared today.
I am super unprepared.
Today we're talking about.
He was here before me.
Today
That's fair.
we are talking about Friendly Face.
We are.
Ooh, friendly face.
Mm-hmm. And
last time I hadn't finished it, so we couldn't talk about it. But I did it.
he finished it.
I
So
did finish it.
where
This has been a very overdue episode.
it's been overdue for a couple of weeks at this point.
Yeah.
So where do you want to start?
Do we get the elephant out of the room, or
What's the
we
elephant?
address it? I don't know about getting it out of the room, but the epilogue is, I believe,
Oh, the
pretty
freaking epilogue.
Yeah.
pretty hot.
Definitely
topic.
one of the best epilogues thus far.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think we should talk about the epilogue.
Actually,
We
no,
should
wait.
also mention,
Actually,
we
wait.
should also mention spoiler warning.
Spoiler warning. But before we talk about the epilogue, I just want to know, like, we all agreed in the past that Gumdrop Angel was the best. Where do you think overall this book ranks? I know me and
Personally,
Mhm.
yeah. Personally, I think it's above Gumdrop Angel,
Me too.
and I think it was on the same kind of caliber as Gumdrop Angel, but the epilogue did it for me.
Yeah.
Like it was that extra cherry on the top that did it.
I think I agree. I think it's a very, very good book. I haven't quite decided everything, like the placements, and we're going to talk about, obviously, some of the stories and such today. But, yeah, very, very solid, good book. Very good. Pretty consistently great stories, much like Gumdrop Angel, but I would agree that even without the epilogue, I feel like this might have the edge over it.
That surprises me. That actually surprises me.
I know, because I'm usually the hypercritical one, but
Yeah.
I did really enjoy Friendly Face.
It's
Wow.
crazy.
All right. Underscore, what did you think?
What did I think? What were the stories in that book again?
Friendly Face, See Bonnies, and Together Forever.
But specifically the epilogue at the moment. I mean, unless you want to give your thoughts as a
If
whole.
we're specifically on the epilogue, it's freaking awesome. Definitely one of the best. I don't know if it's like the best story epilogue, but it's definitely the best for just how much sheer content there is.
There is a lot of content.
Yes.
It is the longest story by a lot, which is just amazing. But yeah,
what about the book as a whole?
Book as a whole. I definitely enjoyed some of them, like very early books more. Like I really loved Fetch and 1:35 a.m. But
Do you think that's because of nostalgia, though?
Probably, to be honest.
Speaking of Fetch and 1:35 a.m., though, the epilogue does tie into some of those stories.
That is true. The epilogue brings together a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, if we want to talk about epilogue lore, I have some great things to discuss.
I think we all do, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a lot to say.
So
that's just how I feel about it.
Let's. Okay, so now
Psychic, what about you?
I am with Ozone. I think this is the best story in the Fazbear Fight series so far, and I'm just hoping that Prankster can top it. Because that
It won't be able to.
You don't think so?
Prankster has a story about gardening. That's
Well,
all. I mean,
what I'm hoping is that the epilogue will finish. It will wrap it all up, and it would be very nice.
I hope it's satisfying. I hope there's payoff.
Yeah, that's the only way Prankster can be like better for me. If it's 3 consistently good stories and it wraps it up nicely in a bow.
Because I think we all agree that what's it called? The Afton amalgamation died too quickly. It was a big setup for nothing.
Yeah.
I mean,
and they talk about it in this epilogue, and there are actually 1 to 2 small nitpicks I have with the epilogue that we can talk about in a bit. But do we want to just start with a summary of what happened?
Yeah, let's start with a summary.
Yeah.
All right. Who wants to do summary?
I tend to be good at those.
Okay.
Yeah, let's take it one step at a time, though. One step.
If you miss something, we'll interject. And,
yeah.
Maybe I'll do a brief overview, and then we can dissect each section of the epilogue. We could say.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
let's go.
I also am pretty sure I'm the one who's read it most recently, being like yesterday.
Probably very true.
So we start out with our buddy, good old Larson, and he's going over the test samples from the ball pit. You know, they're all from different times and crap, but he's linking them to missing persons cases and a bunch of teenagers. But there's a silver thread, golden thread. I don't know the phrase. There's something connecting all of them, and that something is Eleanor, the robot from To Be Beautiful, who we knew was kind of on the radar again, but like. Thinking back to Be Beautiful, you wouldn't think that Eleanor would be like this big overarching antagonist, but
not really.
She is. So he wants to find out more about this. He goes, all right, I gotta find that Stitch Wraith. He's probably got the answers. So Chansey, Cowboy Man, goes, yeah, go to place and find man. And Larson goes, yes, thank you, goodbye. And then we cut over to Jake. And Jake is, hanging out with Renelle, who's Eleanor, obviously. We knew this. If you didn't know this, well, big reveal. She's Eleanor.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. But Jake he's been trying to be nice. Jake is nice to a fault because he gets exploited big time this episode of the Stitch Wraith story. Because he goes, what would be a great little surprise for Renelle here? Let's bring her home, even though she got kicked out of the house and probably doesn't want to go back. Let's bring her home. And so Jake, being a great little lad, figures out where she lives and eventually convinces her to go there. And so they go. And meanwhile, Larson is, figuring more stuff out. There's a new character introduced named Dr. Talbert, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he's all about that remnant stuff. And I remember reading it and going, "Ooh, remnant! Hello there. What are you doing in this little book? Guess it'll be important later," which it is. So Jake shows up at the house with Renelle, goes inside, and Renelle's dad, I believe, is Dr. Talbert.
Yes.
Yes. But Jake takes a little look at the family portraits and goes, wait a minute.
Who are you?
Because he notices that the girl in the picture is not Renelle. In fact, Eleanor, is using the illusion discs to disguise herself as basically just a shape-shifting hologram. And at this point...
Maui.
Yeah. Eleanor, demigod of the wind and sea. At this point, Larson shows up to the house as well, and he sees the Stitch Wraith, and he's like, oh crap, he's here. And he also sees Eleanor, because he saw her in the pictures, like, in the missing person stuff. And he's like, oh shoot, you're here. And he goes in to shoot, but she, like, I don't know, gives him a glare, gives him the mean look, gives him the dramatic, the black bars, cinematic, and he faints. He's out. And then what happens next is an amazing scene where
So good.
Mans is hallucinating. He's tripping big time. He sees Eleanor basically influencing a bunch of the previous Fazbear Fright stories. She is the one who made the out-of-stock plush trap, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
She is the one who was messing with Delilah in 1:35 a.m., not the doll all along.
Yep.
Were there any others? I remember there was something with the... Oh, right. She's the one who got Sam almost hit by a train in Blackbird. She went out and tussled with him.
She was Shadow Bonnie in Hide and Seek.
She was Shadow Bonnie in Hide and Seek somehow. But she was behind all of it.
She was also in not Room 4, the man in Room 1280, which I don't know.
Yeah, and
Was
Pete
she?
from Step Closer.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. Pete from Step Closer. She was somehow involved with that. I don't know how. And she was in the Man in Room 1280. Are you sure?
Yep.
I thought that was just her. I thought that was just symbolizing her connection to acting. But we can talk about that. Basically,
I mean, I have a big conspiracy on that, which we'll talk about in a bit.
Basically.
Oh, that thing.
Oh, and fun side note: the plush trap being made with human eyes and human teeth. Do we think those are Sarah's?
Oh.
I think they are personally.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
I mean, Eleanor would have access to all that because, you know, she chopped Sarah up in To Be Beautiful. But anyways, Larson, he's out. He's down for the count. He's really just not in it. And Jake is also, you know, he's realizing it. He goes, wait a minute, you're not a good person. But Dr. Talbot comes over and sees the hologram of his dead daughter because Eleanor is smart like that and shapeshifts into it. And he's like, oh, you're alive. I thought I lost you. Da, 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 da. And Jake goes, heck no, get off. And he tackles Eleanor. But Eleanor, being a mastermind, stabs herself and goes, oh no, I hurt. And so Jake, does he get shot or beat down? I don't remember.
Basically, Dr. Talbot has a gun and he shoots the energy core.
Right, he shoots the energy core. That's what happens. So Jake is also down for the count, but he sees what's going on, and he goes, what could have been your plan this whole time? And Dr. Talbot takes what he thinks is his dying daughter and hooks her up to the remnant machine. And Eleanor is very, very happy about this because she's going to get that sweet, sweet remnant boost. And I believe that's where it ends. A little bit of a cliffhanger.
Yeah. So, Stitch Wraith 10. What do you guys think?
It was...
Best thing I've read all series.
It was
really
wild.
Yeah.
Wait, what was the question?
What do you think of the Stitch Wraith 10? Yeah.
I'm so disconnected, I'm sorry.
Did Underscore fall asleep again?
Probably.
No, I'm fine. I'm distracted. Okay. What?
He's distracted by his special guest.
Oh my gosh.
I love this.
Good.
Inky's explained the entire thing and Underscore's like, wait, what?
Oh my gosh. So I thought Stitch Wraith 10 was pretty good.
I also thought it was pretty good. I think it's a bit of an understatement.
It was pretty good.
Jordan in the chat the collective of Jordan is hard at work reading a bunch of stuff, or not reading, theorizing
Yes.
about who
So
Eleanor could be and other stuff. And Andrew,
So, I think
don't
this
know
is-
how Andrew's relevant.
this is a good. Yeah, right here is a good point. Ozone, tell your theory.
My theory. Okay, my big conspiracy.
Yeah.
Okay, Inky. I don't think Inky's ever heard about this, so it's
No.
gonna be interesting for him to hear about. Okay.
I may have had
So-
the same idea though when I was
Okay.
reading it.
When I was reading it, I felt something weird about this entire thing, and I don't know. I don't know if I still totally believe this, but I was just like thinking. So in the picture, we see her with curly black hair, right?
Right.
And throughout the entire series, there have been a lot of weird, mysterious people with curly black hair. And so
This is
my mind just went to maybe Eleanor is disguised as all of these people with black curly hair, and that is how she is involved in every story. And although that may be quite a good theory and possibly one with evidence, I would like to say something bigger, and that is that Eleanor could be Andrew.
Huh.
Let me explain. Let me explain.
Yeah. Inky,
Eleanor is-
I feel the same.
If if Eleanor is Andrew, then she would essentially be there in the man in room 1280. That's how she's associated with that story. And then what happens at the end of that story is, as we know, Andrew's agony gets separated out into the world from the Fazbear distribution center and stuff. But then that is how Eleanor gets into all of these kind of different places, and that's how she messes with the stories.
Ozone, I don't want to alarm you, but chat is going no zone, oh no zone. Ozone.
Really?
Ozone.
You're getting
Now,
ratioed, my friend.
I do want to say that this was a thought a while ago, and I have thought about it a little bit more. But wouldn't it be really cool if in the final epilogue, Jake finds out that this entire time, the person who he is trying to fight turns out to be Andrew, who used to be his friend. That would be such a big, like,
that'd be a cool twist.
that would be a massive betrayal twist, right?
I agree. I want to point out two things in the chat. First of all, a question from Stitchy: how would she be able to impersonate a spirit?
We just don't know.
All right.
I
Point two is
don't
from Coldstone. Eleanor and Andrew can't be
Yeah.
the same person because they were both in the same place in epilogue 6 and 7.
actually that's true.
I will say the one thing that would be explained by Ozone's theory is why is Andrew important? Because right now,
he doesn't seem to be important anymore.
yeah,
But why was he important in the first place?
It's a good question, and one that I don't think any of us can answer right now.
Something I think I can say is that disregarding Andrew for a second, Elizabeth, well, not really Elizabeth, but Eleanor has had some strange, definably strange parallels to, let's say, the curly black hair and like Cassidy, and it's unclear how that all works, but it's weird that it exists.
And ultimately, we have to remember that though a bunch of these mysterious children have curly black hair, it may not be like a very defined intentional thread between them. Like, as Mr. Alex Man points out, Tyler from The Cliffs has curly black hair. It's just kind of a common hair trait.
and
Yeah, black hair.
I believe we talked about how there's only
I
so
do
many
agree with
different
that.
hair colors
Right.
and stuff
There's
you
so
can
many
have.
different hair colors and stuff you can.
But I still want an explanation for the new kid.
I mean, we all
don't
do.
we all? Don't we all? So another theory, Eleanor as Elizabeth, perhaps, or at least a stand-in for her. It would explain maybe, well, not really her motivation, because she does kind of ditch Afton once his power ditches him, which is her. So really, it's just a cycle of ditching each other.
She's a power vacuum.
Yeah, And how do we feel about that? How do we feel about making Eleanor suddenly the big center focus, all powerful?
I love it.
Afton wasn't really powerful all along. It was Eleanor behind the scenes powering everything.
I just had a thought.
Oh, Sidekick, you first.
So far, the first two stories have become major important. Into the Pit and To Be Beautiful have become like super important. Are we gonna see any importance from Count the Ways as like the third story in the book? No, that's what I thought too. It was just an idea.
don't see how it could be important.
Just an idea that I wanted to share real quick.
All right.
So the book does comment that Afton was weak. But anyways, we've got people agreeing and disagreeing to, the Elizabeth Eleanor theory, and I'm not sure how I feel about it myself. But who was Eleanor originally, do we think? Because she appears to be possessed, at least, and then steals Sarah's body.
She's possessed by Andrew.
Possessed by Andrew.
Would we assume that she's still Afton's daughter, like has been in any other FNaF
Maybe,
timeline,
but
she's just Elizabeth?
The point has been brought up, why would she ditch Afton? Because Elizabeth has this undying devotion to William that Eleanor doesn't seem to share. So, unless we have another topic we want to talk about, I could talk about my slight nitpicks with the epilogue.
Go for it.
And
yeah, go for it.
So obviously, I really liked this epilogue, but I'm not entirely sure how I feel about Eleanor being the huge overarching antagonist just yet. I think it'll grow on me, but we'll see. As far as just going back briefly, Coldstone says that she might be done being William's pet, which is possible. But the other thing that I liked and disliked about the epilogue is the whole scene where it's explaining how Eleanor was involved with everything. It was cool to see, like, oh, this makes sense now, but it kind of broke the immersion just a little bit because it seemed like it was just an exposition dump, in my opinion. I feel like there could have been a way to write that in better, where it wasn't just like, here are a bunch of flashback scenes that show, oh, it was her all along. But at the same time, it was still a very, very hype and cool scene. I'm just hesitant in feeling that maybe it could have been executed better, so that it didn't seem like such of an exposition dump. But those are my only problems with the epilogue. Aside from that, fantastic. What do you guys think about those slight complaints?
Underscore, do you have something to say?
What? Oh, I don't think it was about. It's not about Inky's complaints. It's about Eleanor being the main baddie.
Okay. Well, you can go ahead with it.
Should I say it? How on board is everyone with the idea of Baby coming back for security breach?
Doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make any sense.
I don't think it makes sense at all. I haven't.
Listen. Right now, we have William back, the possibility of Henry back, and the possibility of Michael back. We do not need Baby back.
No, she's coming back. Well, you mark my words.
How? This is the first I've ever heard of this.
Seriously?
Yeah, we can't just have FNaF 6 be pointless. How could she
Elizabeth
get out?
gestation pod. Have you not seen it?
What?
Oh, are you talking about the thing from Fury's Rage?
Yes.
Oh no!
Oh, for goodness sake! _ It's a game. It's a. It's another FNaF world.
Oh no! I don't like this. Underscore has been promoted from AR theorist to Fury's Rage theorist.
Yes. Okay, look.
Okay,
you don't
speaking of AR.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, speaking of AR, maybe they scanned Baby's thingies, and that's how Circus Baby's in the game.
Or she's just part of the history of Freddy Fazbear's because it was a sister company, and they know about her.
No, but why would they send out animatronics that were made to kill?
They didn't intend to.
They're not made to kill. The virus that got into the system. Actually, it's not the virus. Vanny got access to the system and turned off all the safety features. That's why they kill.
Interesting.
I know that as a fact.
Okay.
This is why he's the AR theorist.
So
okay, I know I developed the AR lore, but there's an actual timeline of what Vanny does, and I know that for
I
certain.
mean, from the emails, right?
Yes, yeah, most of
Yeah.
the email stuff.
That's,
she
like,
turned off
credible.
the save features. Yeah, that's credible.
Credible information. So if we want to get back to the epilogue, do we want to talk about the introduction of Remnant and Dr. Talbert and what we think this implies for...
Also, you forgot
Yeah.
something. Wait, Inky, you forgot something about the epilogue that I just remembered. Dr. Talbert was friends with Dr. Taggart.
That's right.
Yeah.
Taggart and Talbert.
And this is what I want to get into real quick, if you guys would allow me.
Go ahead.
So we have Dr. Taggart and Dr. Talbot, and I thought they were the same person at first, but don't at me. We have Dr. Taggart, who works on Agony, and we have Dr. Talbot, who works on Remnant. So it's clear that these are kind of two separate things, right? And that's something we've been trying to kind of force in our theories and stuff. But now it's kind of confirmed.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I think it's also a very clever way to separate the two, having two scientists work on it. And
But
they know
also,
each other, but it's separate.
Also, it's the fact that we've got a word from the games in these books. We've got Remnant. So
and it's not AR. It's not AR Remnant.
Yeah. Does that mean that Agony is pretty much confirmed to be in the games? Because you kind of need one with the other.
I'm hesitant because
answering
to me,
the question in chat really quick.
To me, saying Agnes definitely is in the game because it's in the books. It's kind of like saying that the illusion discs were in the games because they were in the books. I feel like we're gonna need to see it before I, 100% believe it. But that's just what I think right now.
Fair enough.
As Coldstone says in chat, Agony explains a lot of Easter eggs.
Yes.
Which I do agree with.
Paper pals.
I like the paper pals. And answering Stitchy's question, what about the weekly scoop? Well, they didn't show up today. I don't know where they are. Have you guys heard anything about the news group?
I never got a text from Oxygen.
You have Oxygen's number?
I mean, yeah, I asked what's his name, physics for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they didn't give it. Yeah.
Oof.
They didn't show up.
Don't worry, buddy. You struck out once. Next time will be better.
At least you didn't give you the number to like Pizza Hut or something.
Oh yeah, that would have been pizza. Anyways,
your pizza's coming in 20 minutes. Wait, what?
Okay, so any final thoughts on the?
What do we think Eleanor's gonna do? What's her plan? What's her motive?
Well, now that
she's amped up. She's all amped up on Remnant.
What's her end goal?
Oh my gosh, I just got an idea. So imagine, start of the epilogue, Larson puts Remnant into the Stitch Wraith, and then they have like a super awesome battle scene where it's like two of these super powerful people. Yeah, like giant mech fight.
Giant mech fight.
Okay. It's gonna go from a FNaF mech fight to a crossover with Smash Bros.
Jake defeats
Super FNaF Bros is coming back.
Larson and Dr. Talbert be like, for his neutral special, he wields a gun.
Okay, I have one question I want to direct at Inkyink because I don't know if he's thought about this. He might have, but
fire away, much like Dr. Talbert did to Jake.
So, Inky, I pose the question to you: how did Dr. Talbot get his hands on Remnant?
Oh. Dr. Talbot, what you doing with the dead?
He's freaking evil.
Dr. Talbot, how'd you get that there?
It could just be like
yeah,
because it's something I'm questioning right now.
Where did he get his remnant? Maybe there is a humane way to get remnant somehow.
Maybe you get maybe you can go to a hospital and go,
maybe we'll get him. Listen, maybe in the next epilogue we'll get like a more descriptive like explanation what remnant is. Because right now we just think it's like soul metal. Like, do we know what it is?
You can get remnant donors.
Remnant donors, take my soul.
If any of you actually want to trust AR, you could maybe hypothetically just pluck it out of the air, but like probably not.
All right, I'm gonna
trust AR. How absurd!
Trust AR. Impossible.
Okay.
What's next?
Any final thoughts before we move on to another story?
Wait. Can we talk
Well, let's
about...
address some of Jordan's comments.
I have something I'd like to bring up as
All
well.
right, underscore, you go first.
Oh, me first now? Let Jordan.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got Coldstone saying Dr. Talbert having his hands on Remnant is concerning. What if Remnant technology got into the hands of the wrong people? That may happen. What are ideas? Any ideas on the VR sisters?
Just
we have a suggestion that it may be a representation of Tape Girl and Vanny. I never actually played Fury's Rage, so I'm gonna leave this one up to you guys.
well, that'd be interesting. There's not enough evidence for it.
Wait, what was the theory?
That
Tape Girl and Vanny, VR sisters.
I like it. I like it. Vanny and Tape Girl. And
How
VR
do you
sisters.
like it?
Because I'm now a Fury's Rage theorist. Lay off.
can
This is distressing news.
we get AR underscore back? I liked him better.
Yeah, I prefer it.
Oh, Inky, this one's for you. Do you prefer Moondrop or Sunrise?
Moondrop?
Moondrop.
Easy.
Downright.
Moonrise.
Moonrise.
I like Sundrop.
Sundrop.
Sundrop?
The sun just falls out of the sky and
Oh my
destroys everything.
Which Glamrock is the best?
Moondrop. He's
Which
not even a
Glamrock?
He's the best one.
The freaking Toy Chica.
Do you mean Glamrock Chica?
No, I mean Toy Chica. Look at it. It's missing its beak.
Toy Chica comes back from the dead, goes,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, I'm back.
All right, underscore. What were you gonna say before Jordan?
Not specifically on what is it? Her Eleanor's victims, like the 30 years.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that an address? Did we say anything about that?
No. I had the idea that each year Eleanor killed like one person or like a group of people.
Yeah.
And
I think, was it Psychic? I think you had the idea that they were the 30 victims from the 30 stories.
yes.
I mean, I don't think that's true, but
Well, not everyone was.
it's an interesting thought.
The reason
So
I thought it
the-
is because there were some stories where like one person died, some where no people died, and some where 2 or more people died.
Yeah. I know it's factually incorrect because we have Larson looking at photos of Eleanor standing behind a girl or girls that would go
Yes.
missing, which were not part of any stories.
And we also
True.
have stories where a lot of people are implied to die, like He Told Me Everything,
Our
Gumdrop
favorite.
Angel, and Lonely Freddy.
Yeah. It's not every story can be a part of her killing spree, because there was certainly, I think she committed, it's clear from those photos and what Larson was digging up, she committed a lot of to be beautiful-esque killings. Like, she did a lot of what she did with Sarah, but it's unclear how much, so we don't know how many of the Vasper Fight stories were actually her or not.
Oh boy, another thing to theorize about.
How many did she actually do?
So do we wanna move on to another friendly face story?
I want to
Yeah,
move on.
let's do it.
I want to move on to Together Forever.
Together
okay.
forever. What a story.
All right, so let's just
People want us to talk about sea bonnies, but
Sea bonnies.
I think Together Forever is the move for this one. We will talk,
Yeah.
and don't worry, guys. Whichever stories we don't talk about in this live episode, we will talk about in a future episode.
Very true.
So,
We want Lake Bonnies.
Lake bonnies.
I
want
prefer-
ocean bonnies. Is that what you're gonna say?
Together. Okay, so
They really want sea bonnies.
because I
like-
remember Inky, you said something very interesting about Together Forever
I did.
that I wanted to talk about.
Do
Do we want to get into that, or should we start off with like
is it
the
my
summary?
change in opinion?
Yeah.
My change in opinion.
Okay. Wait.
I
Before
can-
I think before we get into that, we should have like our summary and our
a
thoughts.
brief summary. Yeah. Does someone else want to do? the summary
Sure,
for
I'll
Together
do
Forever?
it. So there's
Awesome.
these 2 very annoying people. I think it's like what, Jessica and Brittany. I would say
and Jessica.
I would say those are names of stupid people, but I have a friend named Jessica, so I'm not gonna do that. Anyways, so
The conflict.
the internal conflict. Anyway, so they're stereotypical high school, like,
Mean girls.
Mean girls, yeah, that's a good word for it. And basically, it just sets up like, oh, they go to school. There's these 8th graders who they're like, oh, look at this pawn scum walking around our kingdom halls because of how epic we are. Here, let me apply more makeup to my face. Oh, excuse me, peasant. Then they go to robotics class and they're like, oh my gosh, these 8th graders are here. They're following us everywhere because we're the center of the world. Look at us. And then they're like, oh.
I look like the Mona Lisa.
Mona Lisa.
For a split second, I did not register that.
Yeah, me either. That did not sound like him at all.
Oh my
Stitchy and
gosh.
Minky.
Oh my gosh, how can you do that good?
Oh, for those of you who have not seen Ozone's audiobook of Tears Forever, go watch it. Go watch it.
I
Oxygen, give me a
low-key might
text.
have to.
Anyways, so basically the professor who doesn't speak in full sentences, which is so annoying.
It is really annoying. It was like a speech gimmick that they wanted to do, but it just didn't make sense realistically. Like nobody would just stop their sentences in the middle of.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, so
How
basically,
annoying.
they're like, you guys have to reprogram animatronics, and that's going to be your assignment. So, and he gives the big one, Rosie Porkchop, to Jessica and Brittany, and like, you guys have to come after school to work on this, because you can't take it out. So like, oh, this sucks. So they leave school, and then they go to like the hangout zone, I guess, and a bunch of 8th graders are there, and they're like, oh, look at these peasants in our hangout zone. How dare they? Do they not know their place? Oh, and they also have like these like stupid boyfriends who are just like the worst. They're just
Yeah,
like
they're just
For
jobs.
real.
they're big simps. Anyway,
Yeah.
then they head to school after school to program the animatronic, and they're sitting there and they're programming like, what should we make this pig animatronic do? And they're like, I have an idea. Let's have this animatronic. Oh, also before we go on, the teacher gave him like this bunch of papers, and it said, "Be careful with this animatronic. It's a Springlock animatronic." And they're like,
they literally get a Springlock animatronic.
What the hell is a Springlock?
Ozone, please.
oh boy. Anyway, so they start reprogramming the Springlock animatronic, and they're like, oh, we're gonna make him like do our bidding and everything, and they're like laughing like, oh, we're geniuses. And then they start typing in like the code to be like, capture these ones and listen to us. When they hear something behind them, so they freak out, and there's like an animatronic like rat or something, so they slam it, and they beat it up.
What was Eleanor?
They go gangsta.
Oh my gosh.
The rat is Eleanor. Anyway,
Me
so
and the boys stomping on our fat.
anyway, they head back, finish up the code, and like, let's turn her on. Should we double check her code? Nah, it'll be fine. So basically, they turn her on, and she like, looks around, and then she grabs Brittany, stuffs her in her stomach, and Brittany's like freaking out, and so Jessica's like, oh, I need to find the control panel.
my.
So she reaches up and she flicks a lever that says suit mode.
Oh, I mean, that's a horrible tragedy, and I would never laugh at such a thing.
You just did.
Anyway, this annoying girl got what she deserved, and she got like shredded into pieces.
Oh,
my
no, I
gosh.
didn't.
Ozone, please.
Anyway,
Why does underscore hate it so much?
Please.
anyways, so then like Jessica realized what happened, and she's like freaking out. She's like frozen there, and then Rosie decides to, hey, look, this other person I'm supposed to program pick up. Let's go get him. Bon, go get him.
Come on, go get him.
Rosie, go get him. And she picks her up, stuffs her in the stomach, and she's just in there, and she's like, oh crap, the insides of my friend are all over this tiny little place, and it smells like and tastes like blood.
Good heavens. It appears my friend has been strewn across this metallic interior.
Anyway, so she turns around and she just sees the face of Brittany just on the wall. and she can
So creepy.
and she can just hear, and then she hears Brittany's voice like, "It's so." Ozone, do the voice and say it's so cold.
It's so cold.
No.
And she's like, "What?" She has to be dead.
I'm freezing.
And then the robot glitches out, and Springlocked again.
Bonkety, Springlock 2.
And they're both dead inside the animatronic. So
Quite gruesome.
the next day, the two 8th graders come in and the 8th graders were ones who were supposed to end up inside the robot. And Rosie walks up and like, "Hey, I'm your ladies in waiting." And they're like, "What ladies? There's only one of you." And they're like, "No, I'm your ladies in waiting." I'm like, does that sound like Brittany's voice? Yeah, it kind of does. Oh well, we got a cool robot pal now. This is gonna be awesome. And then it cuts to the two faces of the two girls inside the stomach staring at each other forever.
Ugh.
And that's
It was
the
a
end.
spooky tale and very interesting.
I love that addition to the story. It's so good.
Yes. So, what do you guys think?
I need to mention something at this very moment.
Yep.
I am unfortunately gonna have to dip.
Oh no.
Underscore, we are about to get into extreme theory territory.
I have a good excuse though.
What's up?
Do you?
I have homecoming.
Ah.
Oh. Can we have an
Wow.
applause for Underscore?
I don't need your applause.
Jordan, everybody. Send him on his way.
No.
Everyone,
Sure.
everyone, do the 07 salute in chat. Everyone, do the 07
He's gonna
salute.
ask me in some big way,
Shush. Okay.
and then he never did.
Yeah, I never asked you.
And then like 2 days before, he's like, I'm like, "Hey, are you ever gonna ask?" And then he's like, "No, that's the funny thing. I say I'm gonna do it, and then I don't." I'm like,
He probably overslept.
I was putting things off just for you.
Okay,
Underscore.
you've had your quote. I'm gonna dip.
Underscore, so embarrassing.
Replace me with like Quinn or Coldstone or someone. I vote those two.
Do we want to have a surprise special guest mid-episode?
Do it.
Sure.
No, we can't do that. We can't do that.
You
We
can.
can't do that.
No, we can't. We can't. I'm sorry.
Whatever.
Alright, let's-
All right, have fun. It was good being here for what? At least half of it, at least.
40 minutes of it.
All right.
You got a good run.
He had a good run.
Thank
Now
you.
go.
I will check it out later.
Go.
Thank you.
Go, y'all.
Don't oversleep. Don't oversleep. You have homecoming.
Bye.
Oh, whatever. All right. See ya.
Bye.
Okay.
Was that Underscore's girlfriend?
Ozone.
We got him on the podcast, boys. Let's go.
Special guys. We've already had one.
Oh my god.
I just love how she just like interrupts the entire podcast to tell us the story. That was amazing.
Alright. So, obviously, Together Forever, once again, also has a very large elephant in the room that we should address.
Actually, I think it's a pig.
That is true. Sorry.
Anyways.
So, this story changed how I feel about some of the Fazbear Frights books. Cue the audience gasp soundbite.
Oh, look at them all gasping.
Look at them. They're shook. They're shocked. Alright.
Shocked Pikachu.
Surprise Pikachu, yeah. So, in the past, I was always the big parallels no guy. And this story, as I was reading it, I've prepared a presentation.
Oh.
Wait, what?
I call it the 4 steps of realizing Together Forever is written a very particular way.
He actually made a presentation.
Did he actually make a presentation?
Wait, no, not the ad. Technical difficulties, please stand by. So, this presentation, as I have just stated. Let's begin. Welcome to How Together Forever Changed My Opinion
Oh my
on
gosh.
Fazbear Frights Parallels. Step 1. As I was reading, it seemed like a simple setup. We have 2 horrible people as main characters. and I am very excited to see what happens to them, as it is deserved. Step 2. A Springlock animatronic. I found this detail very interesting and intriguing. Before this, I was a little concerned it would not have anything to do with FNaF. However, once the document about the Springlock animatronics surfaced, my thoughts were put at ease. Part 3. The Springlock incident. I was quite surprised, but also very satisfied to see that we got another Springlock scene in this series. It seemed to be a cross between a Funtime animatronic and a Springlock, as the chest cavity opened and placed the bratty character inside. And throughout this, judging by the title, I had surmised that Together Forever would end with the two main characters having their plan backfire on them and become the victims of Rosie the Pig. Step 4. Everything changed. During the course of the Springlock scene, as soon as I realized where it was going, a small idea lingered in the back of my mind. I went, no, surely not. Scott Cawthon being obvious? What? Impossible. This can't be true. Now, it could just be that one of them carries around the body of the other, like a Funtime animatronic. Surely nothing could sway my opinions on parallels in the Fazbear Frights. But, there's one thing that could change my mind. You see, if they may die, they may both die inside this animatronic today.
You won't die.
But it won't mean anything. I'm sure of that. Surely it would not mean anything unless of course we got actual dialogue of them possessing it. Surely that'd be quite groundbreaking. Step 4.
I thought that was step 4 just now.
Step 4 reiterated. Everything changed when
the Fire Nation attacked.
The Brittany voice. When the Fire Nation attacked. When the Brittany voice said, "I'm cold." It was at that moment that it hit me. Parallels might exist. And this one seemed like Scott finally going, "Children, stop fighting. Look at this thing that I made." And finally, once Jessica spoke through the Rosie animatronic as well, to the 8th graders, after we had already heard Brittany's voice. It was at that point that it all made sense.
What's going on?
That this story may not confirm any theories, but it seems to highly imply and suggest the validity of the Golden Duo theory. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Good night.
I disagree.
What the hell just happened?
I disagree. Wait, where's my music? Music, where are you? Music!
Oh my gosh, can we just talk about how Jordan is spamming #Inky is a parallel theorist confirmed?
So FNaF AR.
Wait, what?
So here's my part in all of this. I used to be a parallel theorist. but I've changed.
We've swapped, Ozone.
I don't have a speech, I don't have a presentation, I don't have music. I'm doing it all without a rhythm, without a beat.
Are you actually serious
rhyme.
though? Do you actually not believe in parallels anymore?
I'm less on the parallel side now. I
That is
think
actually hilarious. We've really swapped
it's-
places.
right with things like Pete, for example. Okay, that's kind of obvious, right?
Well, I would disagree.
Oh,
Come
why would
on!
you believe in it. You believe in
I
parallels.
believe that there are some parallels. I also believe that some of them aren't, and I'm not sold on Step Closer still. I don't know. Yeah. Moving on. Just continue.
What
I
the
won't stop.
hell?
Oh my gosh.
What? Okay. Right. Yes. I also I don't know. I don't know anymore. I hate FNaF.
Oh, you poor boy.
Oh,
Do you
he's
want
gone.
a lollipop? Oh my gosh.
Ozone's
he's
gone. We lost him.
All right, Inky, it's just you and me. Come on,
It's
we have
just
to.
you and me.
We can finish this. We
Dark Rooms duo.
yeah, Dark Rooms duo. All right.
Ozone, come back, please.
So-
Oh, here he is. He's back.
I hate FNaF.
No.
My boyfriend is better than yours.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Okay.
So Ozone, what do you think of Together Forever then? As far as
That's-
parallels.
I'm a little bit stuck because it's very similar to the new kid, isn't it? The whole idea of like two people
Not
kind
Not
of.
necessarily, I'd say. Because in the new kid,
Why do you disagree with everything that I say?
I'm sorry, Ozone. With the new kid, I feel like a lot of people assumed it was two spirits possessing, but we don't know enough about it. We don't know if the Kelsey persona is a disguise of the spirit, if it's another person, if there's revival at all. There's not enough information there.
Yeah, I'd agree with that actually because of the whole Eleanor kind of
Yeah.
Kadonk. Yeah, I guess it's gold. I mean, I believe in Golden Duo, but I don't want to just be like, oh, there's two people in a Springlock suit. That means Golden Duo.
But I get that, and my old ways go, yeah, don't judge it too soon. But like, you think about it, we're close to the end of the series. We've had the debate of Golden Duo versus
BV Fifth.
BV Fifth and other theories.
Yes.
And to me, and of course I could be wrong, because we're all wrong at some point, many times. To me, this just really looked like Scott going, have two characters possess a Springlock suit. I'm tired of their crap.
But when did Scott write this? Because was Golden Duo even a thing when he wrote this?
I would say so. I don't think they had all these backlogged in like 2018.
Because when was Golden Duo created?
It was first. It was
New
fir-
Kid.
Yeah, when Inky got on Game Theory.
Not necessarily. I mean, I don't want to associate that because I don't fully. Despite me believing that this is the first really fairly solid evidence for Golden Duo we've had. I obviously I'm still split on it. I don't think.
Yeah.
I'm not set. I don't have an opinion on Golden Freddy, but I do know that this is interesting. This is something to note. This is something that is worth looking into, considering how much it lines up with that theory.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Coldstone in the chat has said that Golden Duo has been around since Logbook. I'm pretty sure. I would agree with that actually. Yeah. That's a good point.
Oh,
with the whole crying
Sir
child and
Duckington
Cassidy.
of Fredericks says that you got to remember it wasn't supposed to go to 11. It was going to stop
But
at 5.
my question is,
supposedly.
we don't know enough about that.
Yeah.
We don't know if Scott wrote all of them and then only announced 5, or if he wrote 5 and then was like, you know what, I'm gonna write more.
Yeah, I agree with Ozone on that point.
You've also got to think about the fact that we've got 11 Stitch Wraith epilogues,
Yeah.
right? And so he wasn't just gonna end
That's
it at
fair.
5.
That's fair.
So I feel
in
like he
response
wrote all of the
to-
stories
yeah.
before saying anything really.
It
In
could have.
response to Mr. Alex Man, as far as asking why the two spirits would only ask each other's name after 40 years, we technically don't know when the logbook stuff was happening. You could argue that it's after FNaF 3 anywhere. 1 decade at worst. I mean, okay, that's fair. Honestly, I don't even know if the logbook is evidence for Golden Duo. I don't have an opinion on that. how I got on game theory was about Mike Victim versus Mike Bro, not Golden Duo versus BV5th. And I don't like it when people say that I helped Matt Pat figure out Golden Duo because that was not my intent at all. But
Sorry.
anyways.
I was making a joke. I'm sorry, Inky.
No, it's fine. I didn't even register that you did that, if you did at all. So, so what do we think? I mean, besides obviously the elephant in the room of Golden Duo that we've already talked about, what do we think of Together Forever as a story?
Good story. Horrible characters, but good story. I'm glad they died.
I agree.
I think the horrible characters make it a good story.
Yeah.
Exactly. It would not be what it is if there wasn't some, justice.
Yeah.
It's always fun when you get bad characters getting what they deserve, but not really what they deserve, but just more to an extreme. And a Springlock failure, like, hello, regardless of Golden Duo or not, that's awesome. We almost never get to see Springlock failures.
Yeah.
So it was awesome.
Just something off the side, didn't we get an Evan in this story?
Yeah,
If I recall correctly.
we did.
Do we?
There was an Evan.
Yeah, there's a character called Evan for like 2 seconds.
Really? Impulse Evan, you made it into the story. But I don't think
Hey.
that's related to Evan Victim or the Evan into the real Jake at all.
I don't know. Isn't this the third time we've seen Evan?
Well, yes, but Evan's not exactly like a super rare name. I don't.
Yeah,
think.
I know that. I know that.
Yeah.
And it's all about reused names because like I remember researching Count the Ways, and there are a lot of names that appear in Count the Ways that appear in future books, but they are not related in any way.
Right,
You can
yeah.
clearly tell that.
A lot of names get reused. As Bernie Bear says in the Jordan chat, we've seen like 100 Jeremys.
Also, I was gonna say something about that. Can't remember. Oof, I can't remember. That sucks.
So yeah,
So
Together Forever. I like it. Very good story. I don't know where I'm gonna rank it on my tier list yet. Tier list video coming soon, by the way. I will probably record that sometime soon, and you guys get to hear all of my thoughts. But what do we?
Yeah.
What do we think? Should we hand it over to Jordan and end out with sort of a Q&A session, whatever they want to do, whatever topics they want to talk about?
yeah,
I
ask
don't
some
think
questions.
We're not going to
to
have
us.
time for Friendly Face or Sea Bonnies this episode. That will be coming in a future episode. And trust me, I at least have a lot to say on those two stories, and I think it's going to be very fun.
Yeah.
Let's quickly touch on one thing that Stitchy keeps asking, and I think it's a great question. Who would win, Sea Bonnies or Phasgu?
Ooh, that is a fight.
Such a good question. It's an unstoppable force versus an immovable object.
Mr.
Sea
Alex
Bonnies,
Mann,
Alex
Sea
Mann.
Bonnies,
Phasgu for the win,
um,
Duckington.
We gotta have like a poll.
You guys
Some kind of-
wait. I heard a rumor that underscore is made out of sea bonnies.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You didn't hear
heard
that from me. You didn't hear that from me though.
I heard that none of us are made of Phasgu. Isn't that a crazy rumor?
Yeah, crazy.
It's totally crazy. But underscore being a sea bonnie? Very interesting.
Very interesting. All right.
Dark
Any
Room's
final
lore?
any final questions before we wrap this up?
What do we think? Can we agree that Sea Bonnies is an Ennard story? Evan says. I did not get that impression in the slightest.
Ennard story.
Ennard story. I did not get that impression, but
Oh,
we
I
can
don't
talk
know
about
Ennard.
we can talk about Sea Bonnies and Friendly Face in another day.
Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts about Sea Bonnies.
Because outside-
actually,
And at the end of the day, outside of Together Forever, I'm still not a huge parallel theorist. So I don't think that something vaguely similar or a vaguely similar character happening in one place means this for another thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we most likely won't talk about Friendly Face next episode. Just word of warning.
Right.
But
we'll get to them in a future episode.
Yes. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. We are at 1 hour.
Very nice.
Yes.
Nice way
Wow.
to cap it off. 15th episode, season 3 finale. Is that what we're calling this still?
Sure, season 3
Yes.
finale. Oh
Season
gosh, I have
3
to.
finale.
What am I gonna even title this? Just like Ozone's
We'll
Ozone's
work
favorite
that out.
place. Yeah, we'll work it out.
that out in later, but yeah, here's to a banger season 4, Bernie Bear says in the Jordan chat. So, is Jordan canonically Phasgu with a hive mind? Who knows?
You decide.
You decide.
You decide.
Epic rap battles of
So,
FNaF 3.
I guess, do we segue into the outro now, Psychic?
Yes. Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Dark Rooms podcast. Thank you
Make
to
sure
our
you
20
subscribe.
listeners who joined us in the live show. Pretty awesome. Thanks for joining us, everybody. And I think that's gonna be it. So I'm Psychic.
I'm Inky. Ozone.
He's Ozone.
Yeah.
Underscore is
And
not here.
underscore
I'm
dipped.
Britney.
No, you're not Ozone.
Anyway.
We need to get Ozone like back in a box.
I've been Ozone, and this was the Dark Rooms.
This
And
yes.
underscore dipped.
Yes. So we will see you guys next time. Goodbye. Everybody say bye.
Bye.